What's up, people? Welcome back to Football Insights, where we talk about football related issues, player profile, and other football matters. So, this is your match review of the UEFA Champions League second leg. So quickly, let's move to the Real Madrid game. This is the second leg played on Wednesday. Um, it was 1-1, of course, aggregate 1-1. It had, you know, um, during my match preview, I said that um, Manchester City has been performing very well for the past 5 years when they are playing home, and that came into play. But before we go straight into the game, let's look at the lineups for these two teams. So Real Madrid started with Thibaut Courtois for typical 4-3-3 as predicted and as expected from Real Madrid, and their lineup came early, like let's say 1 hour 30 minutes to time. That is what Carlo Ancelotti has been doing, but this time around it didn't work. This time around, um, um, it was more cookies. They cooked him 4-0. It's not easy. So they started with Thibaut Courtois, Dani Caballero, Eder Militao. We will talk about Eder Militao when we are discussing the game. At David Alaba as the center pair, Camavinga as the left back, the midfield of Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, and Fede Valverde, and then the front three of Vinicius Junior, Benzema, and Rodrigo. Manchester City also started the game with their typical 3-2-4-1. That is what they have been doing for the past 6 games, 7 games, and even in the Champions League knockout stage, that is what they have been doing. Edison Moraes as their goalkeeper, Kyle Walker, top lad. Kyle Walker, John Stones, Ruben Diaz, Manuel Akanji. So Manuel Akanji, Ruben Diaz, and Kyle Walker was the three back. Ruben Diaz and Rodrigo Cascante played as the two DMs. And then the four midfielders was Ike Gunuan, Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish operating from the wings, and Bernardo Silva also operating from the wings. And then their top man was Erling Haaland, which he didn't have a good game. Erling Haaland was man marked in the first leg by Rudiger, and then in the second leg, he had chances and missed about 2 clear-cut chances. So that is the lineup for Manchester City. So let's get straight into the analysis of the match. It was a brilliant game. As expected, Manchester City was going to win this game. As I said in the video, they looked favorites in the game because for the past 5 seasons, they haven't lost a game in Etihad. So when these records are backing you, and then it is very, very difficult to score Pep Guardiola on second occasions, or when you meet him for the second time. Very, very difficult. So a lot of things were going in favor for Manchester City. So let's talk about Carlo Ancelotti. Don Carlo made a mistake in the lineup. Rudiger policing Erling Haaland in the first leg because Militao was off, or Militao had a yellow card to serve. So Rudiger came into the picture, policed Erling Haaland very, very well. Man marked him very well. So going into the game, we thought Rudiger was going to start. Then when the lineup came, we heard the news, days before the match that Militao is going to start. I didn't believe it though till I saw the lineup. Militao starting ahead of Rudiger. I can imagine what Rudiger will feel at that particular moment, because he will feel that, no, bro, this coach doesn't trust me. And that mistake from Carlo Ancelotti. Man City dominated Real Madrid, yes, but the absence of Rudiger really worried Real Madrid. That wasn't a good idea from Carlo Ancelotti. That is the truth, And then Militao even scored an own goal, So that mistake from Carlo Ancelotti, it was bad, So this is a goal. The first goal came in the 22nd minute, but before that, Thibaut Courtois is a top goalkeeper, man. Thibaut Courtois, don't let the 4-0 lie you. If you watch the game very well, you will know that Thibaut Courtois is a very top goalkeeper. He saved Real Madrid in several occasions. Had it not been Thibaut Courtois, Real Madrid would have conceded at least 7 goals. And that would be a disaster for Real Madrid. So Thibaut Courtois is a very top goalkeeper. So Thibaut Courtois saved Real Madrid a lot. The first goal came, but before the first goal, he saved 2 big chances from Erling Haaland. It was save after save after save after save. It wasn't easy. So the first goal came in the 22nd minute. Second goal from Bernardo Silva. Second goal in the 37th minute from Bernardo Silva. 2 goals from Bernardo Silva. The first goal was assisted by Kevin De Bruyne. That pass, Kevin De Bruyne is a genius, man. That pass to Bernardo Silva. And Bernardo Silva is one intelligent guy people haven't been talking about, and he deserves his flowers. He is a top midfielder. Bernardo Silva can play as a midfield, can operate as a typical DM, can also operate as a winger when you need him the most. That is where Bernardo Silva will show up. That first goal was a brilliant idea. Because Thibaut Courtois had already saved 2 chances from Erling Haaland, clear-cut chances. So when Bernardo Silva had the ball, Thibaut Courtois thought Bernardo Silva was going to go wide, but Bernardo Silva used his brain, was very brilliant, and then decided to go the first pool. And then Thibaut Courtois had no chance. The shooting power behind that ball was just insane. 39th minutes, a goal came, a little drive from Ike Gunuan, and then the ball presented itself, and then the technique, Bernardo Silva is short, but the technique he used in that header is just brilliant. David Alaba had no chance to prevent this goal. The third goal came in the 75th minute, an own goal from of course Militao. That was a symbolic idea from Carlo Ancelotti, to actually start Militao over Rudiger. That was a symbolic idea. So an own goal from Militao in the 75th minutes, and these are set pieces. That crossing from Kevin De Bruyne, and then Militao scored an own goal, and then it didn't look good. From that, Real Madrid really, because before the third goal, Real Madrid was actually, their fans, their away fans, their fans online were actually believing in their sort of comeback they always see. But after the third goal, they knew that no, bro, this is over, man. The third goal came around 90 plus 1. Julian Alvarez, that was a brilliant change from Pep Guardiola. That change should have been made earlier. 79 minutes, 80 minutes, Julian Alvarez should have been on the pitch. And the ball would have scored, let's say, 2 goals. Because Real Madrid looked a bit down. For the first time in some years, I saw Real Madrid players, their spirit was down. It wasn't easy at all for Real Madrid. So that was a mistake from Carlo Ancelotti to start Militao over Rudiger. And then the plan. Another mistake Carlo Ancelotti did was the plan to be more defensive against City in their home grounds was just not good enough. Carlo, I knew that he was going to be a little bit reserved, because you don't go attacking Manchester City in their backyard. That is a suicide mission for you. But they were too much defensive in the game. I didn't know what Carlo Ancelotti, the plan he had, but Madrid was too defensive in the game. And that is what gave Manchester City the advantage. In the first 50 minutes, Real Madrid had completed only 45 passes. 45 completed passes from Real Madrid. That wasn't good enough. And Manchester City had already done 100 plus, 100 to 150 plus passes completed. So the Madrid was too defensive in the first half. Try to be more reserved, but don't be too defensive against Manchester City because they are going to hurt you. They have the men to hurt you. If you decide to be too defensive with Manchester City, they will hurt you very well. So the left side of Real Madrid was also leaking. Camavinga wasn't 100% fit, so I am not going to blame Camavinga for his poor performance yesterday. I am not going to blame Camavinga at all because going into the game he wasn't 100% fit. So Carlo Ancelotti should have protected Camavinga. Playing Camavinga in the midfield would have been a better option than the left back because Manchester City are going to attack from their flanks. Jack Grealish and Bernardo Silva. You just knew it. So, for the ideal back line would have been, let's say, Rudiger or Militao, Rudiger in the center pair, and then Alaba going to the left back position. Carlo Ancelotti tried to do it or try this particular formation in the 60th minute, but it was too late, man. That was too late. So Carlo Ancelotti didn't help Camavinga at all. So I'm not going to blame Camavinga for putting up such a shambolic performance. I'm not going to blame him at all. So their left hand side was leaking. I won't lie to you. And then going into this summer, Real Madrid has to some key positions they have to strengthen, and I will do a video on that. Some key positions Real Madrid has to strengthen going into this summer. A video will come, so stay tuned for that. So let's move on. Overall, it was a good game. It was a total dominance from Manchester City. When you check the stats and when you watch the game very well, you will know it was a total dominance from Manchester City over Real Madrid. Real Madrid was toothless. They had 3 shots on targets in the game. 7 shots, 7 total attempts. They were toothless. Vinicius Jr. was nowhere to be found. Benzema was nowhere to be found. Rodrigo was a ghost in the game. Rodrigo. I was surprised he wasn't sacked earlier. Rodrigo, Carlo Ancelotti should have changed Rodrigo in the second half. Around 50 minutes, he should have made that change Rodrigo because he wasn't in a game. He was a ghost in the game. And Kyle Walker really worried Vinicius Jr. this time around. So are we going to accept it now that the battle? No, it wasn't even a debate at all because Kyle Walker was not going to allow Vinicius Jr. to cook him. That was not going to happen. So Kyle Walker really policed Vinicius Jr. very well. I won't lie to you. Vinicius Jr. was just like a ghost in the game. Benzema also ghosted in the game. I don't know what is happening to Benzema this season. He has been scoring goals left, right, center, but the level we expect Benzema to perform, that is not what he is giving it to us. I don't know what is wrong with Benzema though, but overall, it was a good game from Manchester City. Real Madrid was toothless. Carlo Ancelotti made a mistake choosing Militao over Rudiger. Pep Guardiola did his job again. Outclassed Carlo Ancelotti in the game. So congratulations to Manchester City and Inter Milan for qualifying into the Champions League final. Road to Istanbul. We will bring you the preview as we build up to the Champions League final. A lot of news are going to come up and all of that. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for your time. This is your match review of the Champions League second leg between Manchester City and Real Madrid. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. make sure you click on the post notification bell so that anytime we upload, you will be the first person to receive it. Thank you so much for your time. Peace.